Hey everyone, today's it is about when you faint after an argument with him. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Let's get going. You were sitting in the common room of the dorms at UA, studying for your upcoming exams, when Bakugou walked in. He looked agitated and tense, and you could tell right away that something was bothering him. Hey, Bakugou, you said, looking up from your books. Is everything okay? No, everything is not okay. He snapped, his voice laced with irritation. I just got into a fight with that idiot Deku, and I'm not in the mood for any bullshit right now. He frowned, not understanding why Bakugo was so angry. He knew that he and Midoriya had a complicated relationship, but he had never seen Bakugo this upset before. What happened? You asked sensitively. He was being his usual self, trying to act all heroic and shit. Bakugo growled, pacing back and forth across the room. I told him to back off and let me handle things, but he just wouldn't listen. And then he started spouting off about how he's going to become the #1 hero, like he's some goddamn prophet or something. You could tell that Bakugo was really worked up about this, and he didn't want to make things worse by arguing with him. But he just couldn't let him talk about Midoriya like that. I mean, he was kind of like your best friend. Come on, Bakugo. You know that Midoriya just wants to help. You said, trying to reason with him. He's not trying to undermine you or something. I don't need his help. Bakugo snapped, turning to face you. I can handle things on my own, and I'm sick of him trying to always steal the spotlight. You sighed, feeling a wave of frustration wash over you. Bakugo could be so stubborn sometimes, and it was like he couldn't see past his own ego. That's not fair, Bakugo. You said, trying to keep your voice calm. Midoriya isn't trying to steal anything from you. He just wants to be a good hero, like you. Well, he's never going to be as good as me. Bakugo said, his voice rising with anger. And if he keeps trying to get in my way, I'm going to take him down. You felt a knot form in your stomach as you realized just how serious Bakugo was about this. He was willing to hurt Midoriya just to prove a point. And that scared you. Bakugo, you can't just hurt someone because you're angry. You're better than that. You're trying to become a hero for God's sake. And here you are talking about hurting the innocent. You said, standing up and facing him. Bakugo glared at you, his eyes blazing with fury. Don't tell me what I can and can't do, Lion. You don't know anything about what I'm capable of. He spat. You felt a sharp pain in your stomach as Bakugo's words hit you like a punch. You had never seen him like this before, and it was like you didn't even know him anymore. I'm just trying to help you, Bakugo. You said, your voice trembling slightly. I don't want to see you get hurt, or hurt anyone else. Can't you see that? But Bakugo didn't seem to hear you. He was too blinded up by his own anger. And before you knew it, he had stormed out of the room, leaving you alone and shaking. You tried to focus on your studies, but you couldn't concentrate. All you could think about was Bakugo and his anger. And the thought of him hurting someone you cared about was too much to bear. And then suddenly, everything went black. You felt yourself falling. Bakugo stormed out of the common room, feeling the heat of his anger radiating off of him. He was so consumed with his own frustration that he didn't even notice when you tried to stop him. He walked down the hall, his mind racing with thoughts of Midoriya and his constant interference. He was sick of it, sick of always having to compete with him for the top spot. But as he walked, his anger seemed to dissipate, replaced by a nagging feeling of guilt. He knew that he had overreacted, that he said things he didn't mean, and the thought of you being disappointed in him only made it worse. So he turned around and started to head back to the common room, intending to apologize to you and try to make things right. But as he rounded the corner, he saw you lying on the ground, unconscious. Bakugou, what happened? Kirishima exclaimed, rushing over to your side. Bakugou felt a jolt of panic shoot through him as he realized that you had fainted. He knelt down next to you, his heart racing with fear. What do we do? He shouted, feeling helpless. Kirishima quickly sprang into action, checking your pulse and making sure you were breathing. Bakugou watched as his friend worked, feeling sick to his stomach with worry. Finally, Kirishima turned to him, his face serious. We need to get them to recovery, girl. Now. Bakugou nodded, scooping you up into his arms and sprinting down the hall towards the infirmary. He could feel your body shaking in his arms, and he knew that he had to get to you to help as quickly as possible. When you arrived at the infirmary, Recovery Girl took over, administering a series of tests and scans. Bakugou paced back and forth in the waiting room, his mind whirling with thoughts of what could have caused you to faint. And suddenly it clicked. The argument. Did that stress you out? Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Recovery Girl went back and emerged from the infirmary. They're going to be okay. They just need some rest and relaxation. Don't stress them out, got it? Bakugou let out a sigh of relief, feeling the weight of the world lift off his shoulders. He knew that he had been wrong to argue with you, and he vowed to make things right between you. He walked back to the common room, his heart heavy with regret. When he turned, he saw you sitting on the couch, looking pale and tired. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to upset you like that. You looked up at him, your eyes softening. I know you didn't, but you need to learn to control your anger, Bakugou. You can't just lash out at me like that, or do anything to hurt someone, just so that you can become the best, okay? You can't. Bakugou nodded, feeling the weight of your words. He knew that he had to learn a lot about controlling his emotions and actions too, but he was willing to try. I promise I'll do better, he said, his voice full of determination. I know you will. Just remember that I'm here for you, okay, baby? Bakugou nodded, feeling a sense of gratitude wash over him. He knew that he had a lot of things to work on himself, but with you by his side, he felt like he could face anything. Thank you guys for listening. If you liked this video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Goodbye!